What is going on, everyone? Chris with Journals, Comics, and Pop Culture. Now, I know I recently did a video talking about a positive experience that happened on the WhatNot app. Today, we're going to be looking at some questionable experiences that I've witnessed today on the WhatNot app. If you aren't subscribed to the channel, please take some time to do so, guys. Check the links out in the description below. Well, let's get into this. So, I was in a live stream with the seller. Now, I want it to be known this isn't a black and white, shun this seller. There was a lot of positive things about this seller that I appreciated while being in this live stream. And I actually purchased a book with some WhatNot credit while I was there. I won an auction. But the things that really bothered me started concerning me even more and more the longer I watched. Now, this seller had all like silver and bronze age stuff. So that's number one. For me, the way I collect as a collector, I love being able to go into a WhatNot sale and see silver and bronze and not have to wait around because that's the stuff that I'm looking for. That's just me. Now, another extremely positive thing that this seller was doing, everything was a $4 bid. Everything was a $4 starting bid. I think that's really, really awesome, especially when it's easy. And I've been in this situation when you don't have enough people in the live sale, you don't have enough people bidding, you can lose. You can really lose out starting bids really low just for the sake of starting them low. And then they don't even get up to like a price that you possibly could have sold them for on eBay. So those are some positives here. But my big question is, what do we do as collectors when we see sellers? Two things. One, giving false information about the books, and then two, declaring how much the books are worth when those prices that they are declaring these books to be worth have no validity. Now, I could come on YouTube and use my platform and my voice to influence you all and pick up a pitchfork and say, down with this seller, down with this seller. And I can make assumptions like this seller is manipulating the market or they're just straight up lying. But are they straight up lying or is it something else? Are they just uneducated? What is going on here? Now, let's go and dive into the specific issues that this seller was doing. The first book that we're going to talk about is this Creatures on the Loose. What number was this? Number 30. This was an early appearance of Manwolf. Okay. This seller proclaimed this book to be the first appearance of Manwolf, and he proclaimed it to be $100 book. Now, first things first, this is not the first appearance of Manwolf at all. This is the first appearance of Manwolf. This is Amazing Spider-Man number 124, which came out the year prior. So that information right there is incorrect. But we're going to also look at this too. Now, let's look at the grade that this individual was selling this book at, or excuse me, declaring this book at. A fine, very fine, which is around a 7.0, or to their grading. Let's look at what a book in raw book of this Creatures on the Loose was selling for. He said it was a $100 book. Now, nowhere has this book, these are raw values right here. Nowhere has this book in raw, even in a near mint copy, has ever sold close to $100. This book in the grade that this individual is declaring is roughly a $20 book. I mean, even a 9.4 last year sold for about what he was saying this raw book was for, 114. A $20 book, and this individual was, first off, like I said, giving the false information. This is the first appearance of Manwolf. Secondly, saying this is a $100 book. No, it's not. Now, this book was only at a $14 bid when I took the screenshot, but I do believe this book got up to more than double that when it finally sold. So it sold for way over what we could perceive is a fair market value. That's a problem, right? Now, let's go into another example here. This is a Strange Adventures DC book, number 70, called it a VG. And he said, this book is an $80 book. Okay, let's look at that. $80 book and a very good? Yeah, I don't think so. Now you got one outlier right here. And what do we do with outliers? Now, Go Collect, big shout out to Go Collect. They just posted on their IG about how on their website they always asterisk outliers and try to add proper context around them. I'm not even going to look at this. Plus, it was 6 years ago, but we're not even going to look at this. Nowhere has even a higher grade of this book ever sold for close to $80 if we're not looking at this one. The most recent in the grade that they're declaring this to be, which was in April of this year, $35, and that looks to be the only sale in that grade that is even accounted for. So, again, nowhere near the price that this individual is saying that this book is worth, right? So, another one, now I didn't get a screenshot of this one. But this is The Sinister House of Secret Love, issue number 3. I think it's like, Bronze Age thriller type of book. I'm not familiar with it at all. But you know what this individual said this book was? And I believe it was maybe like a fine range. He said it was a $250 book. I kid you not, folks. Kid you not. This book sold in a 9.4 graded copy for way less than that. That was last year. But again, I mean, you can go to a near mint copy selling at the height of COVID for $61. I mean, we did have a very fine sale for 76, but the fine range, whatever, I mean, you're looking at 40, $50, and this individual is saying it's a $250 book. Now, as the sale is going on, this is another thing. The things that the individuals say as they sell on these live sales. There you go. There you go when bidding starts going up. That's more like it. That's more like it. Let's get that price up. We can't give these away for free. Don't let this one go for too cheap. That's right. That's more like it. I'm sorry. Rubs me the wrong way. Now there's nothing illegal about that. You know, somebody's being a salesman. That's salesmanship. All right, let's bid this up. But that's just my personal opinion. I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. But if it works on buyers, because remember, and I'm going to talk about this at the end of the video, to what extent do we hold these potential consumers and buyers that are bidding on these books in these live sales? To what level do we hold them accountable? Right? We'll get back to that though. Now, the next book, we're going to go back here, was this Captain America number 122. Now, this was a high grade. This is a 15-cent high grade Captain America. He called it a very fine near mint. You can see the bidding was at like, 46 here. It definitely went for more than that when it finally ended. He called this book, I wrote it down. I took notes on this, folks. He called this book a $200 book. A $200 book. Again, Cap 122. Even in near mint, remember he has a very fine near mint, $20. A 9.6 just this month sold for $99. I mean, you got a couple of higher grades here that sold for a little over 100, but still. He called this raw book, a very fine near mint, a $200 book. And this book, what did I say? It was at 46 when I took the screenshot. $46. Somebody is it went for more than that. Somebody is already paying twice of really what they can find this book for. So to wrap up the point that I want to drill into everyone when it comes to these types of situations. Look, there's sellers and there's buyers. And there is accountability on both ends here. I'm not here, again, just to pick up the pitchforks on this seller or on WhatNot. WhatNot's a horrible place. This is just a matter of ethics to me, for one, and what we do as sellers. So, number one, as a seller, we have to always keep ethics as the forefront. If there is, I have no idea where this seller is getting their information from when it comes to these prices. Now, he did say that he was a golden age seller or dealer, doesn't know too much about the newer stuff. So maybe, when it came to the Man Wolf, Maybe he just didn't know, and that's fine. But number one, as a seller, you know. You need to know before you sell your books. And if you don't know, then you don't say anything about it. When I get ready for a live sale, whether it's on WhatNot or IG, or if I'm just posting books for sale, I make sure I do my research and I know if it's a key or not. Number one. Number two, the seller had no right to say that this is a $250 book, this is a $200 book, when there is no evidence. You could go on Cover Price, you could go on eBay Sold, which I did before this video. These books, which you all have seen, have not sold anywhere near the price that this seller was saying that they were worth. And it's one thing if you want to look, you want to price this book at 200 bucks, price it at 200 bucks and see if it sells. Don't price it at $4 starting bid. Say it's a $200 bid, and then when it's not getting up to where you want it, say, well, come on, don't let it go for that cheap. Don't let it go for that cheap. You can do that. A seller can do that all they want. But for me, as a consumer, I'm not touching it. I'm not touching it at all. I'm not doing it. Now, the accountability still falls on the potential consumer at the same time, though. Now, by me saying this again, it doesn't give sellers a pass to be unethical. What it states is that we as consumers have no control over sellers being unethical or not, or selling you false information, or whatever the case may be. That's up to us, and it's always going to be on us. And let me tell you what I do, because there's no excuse anymore. When I go on WhatNot, I go on my WhatNot app on my smartphone, and then I have my laptop. And on my laptop, I have a couple of tabs open. Cover Price and eBay, but Cover Price is really all I need. I'm watching this auction. Oh, next up, Captain America 122. Even if it's a 30-second auction, which I believe these were, there's enough time for me to type Captain America number 122 in Cover Price, hit enter, see the rolling averages for fair market value, and know what I'm going to be bidding on this book. Oh, this is a very fine near mint. I see that the highest sell was 22, average is 20. My highest bid is going to be 24, and I'm going to leave it at that. Now I'm a smart consumer knowing what I'm doing. And also the thing with Cover Price is, this guy, this is the first appearance of Man-Wolf. No, it's not. If it was, it would say it right here. So I can already tell that is incorrect information. Because if it was a key, if it was the first appearance, Cover Price would have it right here. So that's all I need. That is all I need to do to become an informed consumer. No matter what marketplace I'm diving into, but especially with the WhatNot marketplaces where it's live and you have such short time to make a decision. And again, these videos aren't to sensationalize these issues. It's not, death to WhatNot. It's not, this seller is just unethical. And no, it's more nuanced than that. And it is a situation to where we can make this hobby better when we explore these situations and critically think, how can we become better sellers? How can we become better consumers? And I'm all about maximizing profits as a seller. We want to sell a book for as much as we can. But like I said, a good business will understand ethics. And as long as you're keeping a line of ethics right there, hey, more power to you. Get as much money for that book as you can. Don't cross that line, though. Don't cross that line to maximize your bottom line and what you're selling your books for and the money that you're bringing in. That's just my humble opinion. But we also got to be educated as collectors. And I'll say one more thing before I end this video. Seeing this, because like I was seeing it as I was watching the stream, the seller got more and more in the middle of it to where he was like, this is a $200 book. Oh, like bid it up. Let it not go for that cheap. Oh, come on, guys. We can't even give these books away. Like that rhetoric, and hey, they could do it all they want. But I saw then some of the prices and some of the bids kind of going up. So you could tell that there was some type of pressure for people to bid when that dialogue was being spoken by the seller. And that just goes to show how, like, even this market is so easily distorted when it comes to what we perceive as fair market values. But that's a whole other conversation that I will be diving into soon, guys. Thank you all so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Be well, and until next time.